still wanted to go get them. And you say, oh, Chuck, now we have to quit. We were mad. That's why we were there. We were anxious to wipe them out because they attacked us. And those emotions are part of it. The other emotions are, thank God, that the war is over and we can quit sacrificing young men, and that we could have peace and friendliness. And it was so strange that when I finally went back into combat loaded into Japan, in Sasebo, Japan, fully armed and loaded, that we landed and there was no war. The war was over. And we went ashore and they bivouacked us in barracks and stuff. And believe it or not, and within a month, as much as you were trying to fight and kill the Japanese, you were having dinner with them. There was the basic family didn't want war. The warmongers wanted war. The families don't want to lose their children. They don't want to lose their families and friends. So basically, war is hard to explain. And it's hard to understand, especially even as much as I've had of it. It's hard to understand why we have to have war, except it's greed. It's wanting more than their share, something I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a philosophy or a way of government or life. But why do we ever have to have war? I don't know. It's strange. You develop these feelings, but not everybody's the same. We're all different.
All right, so only a couple more questions. What was your favorite, not your favorite, but what was your first memories of going home after?
What was the first?
Your first memories of going home after the war, just when you finally returned home.
I wish I could answer that. There's so many different thoughts about it. But the main thing was you were glad the war is over and it was settled in our favor, and especially the fact that you could get on with your life. And there were so many things to put together again to find yourself and get back into life and pursue a marriage, raise a family, live in a community, and it's quite a transition from the country for fires, and it came over the radio. And of course, what do you think? I couldn't believe my ears that they had that happen to us.
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
Oh, I enlisted immediately. I left and went to San Francisco to enlist.
And what motivated you to enlist?
The love of my country.
And can you talk a little bit about your friends, and did they enlist with you?
My friends? Well, I hadn't thought much about that. My friends were young people like myself, of course, and we all had mixed attitudes. We were all incensed and excited, and when the war started, it was on a Sunday. We were in a dormitory at school, School of Forestry, and it was quite a few shouting, and we were all going to go get them. So we all were going to go fight the Japs, and so the next day I was the only one on the school bus, or on the bus to go. And they cooled their tempers down, but I didn't. I couldn't wait till I got even with the Japanese.
So where did you go to join?
Where what?
Where did you go to join, and
Well,
why
I
did
went
you?
to San Francisco.
And why did you choose? Where did you go to join, and why did you choose the branch you did?
Well, that was the recruiting center. That's where the Marine Corps had a recruiting center. So that's where I went.
So could you say that real quick all together? Could you say like I went to San Diego because I was,
Well, San Diego is where they were getting it together, and then they have a huge facility there for Marine Corps. That's a Marine Corps base, San Diego. So we went right in there, and I wanted to be in the Air Force to drop bombs on them, to go get it. They said that was filled up, but you could go into the paratroopers. So I signed up for the paratroopers. So then we went to parachute jumping school for a week, and then we went back and got ready to go overseas as a group.
now were you familiar?
And it's just a question of fighting. I can't go back and explain our attitudes, but maybe it's the way we're brought up. I think the love of your country is a big issue. It's the way you live, and somebody had the guts to come and attack you and try to take that away. It's hard to really be a psychologist or a brilliant mind to give you all the right answers, but emotions are hard to explain. They're built into you, and you go with the flow.
All right, so should we straighten up a bit?
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, let's go this way.